For several months now, I've wanted to do two things: restart the YouTube and learn more about nature. I kept waiting for the perfect time to do it, waiting for now. Despite not being a professional filmmaker, not having the correct gear, or even having a clear location, I want to tell a story worth hearing. So here I am for week 1 of my documenting a documentary. Let me explain. School has finished. The 16 years of education which I've had, or more aptly 11 years, is finally over, and I have a very long summer holiday. What I want to do is not bed rot, is not do nothing, is not read all the time. I want to do something fun and challenging. Second, I just want to learn for myself. I want to learn about my city, I want to learn about the nature around me, I want to learn about myself, and I want to learn about opportunities which can come of just trying. Because I've never really pushed as hard as I know I can or know I want to. So I thought that with the 10 weeks of holiday I have, it would be a great opportunity to just learn about whatever I can. Third reason why is I want to learn, but for university. I want to learn and show that I'm passionate about nature and biology, which is what I want to do at university. And the reason it's so important to do something exterior is because I specifically want to go to Oxford, which is, if you live under a complete mountain, the most prestigious university perhaps in the world. And I want to go there, but grades aren't enough. So you need to show that you care some other way. So you need to do something outside of it. And fourth, and perhaps most importantly, is that I want to be a founder. And a founder is a very loose term, but I generally see it as someone who creates things which then have value and are somewhat purchasable. They tend to be lifestyle business owners for me, Jai and Evan, if you have watched any of my previous videos. But I want to be a founder, I want to have something like that, and I don't really know what to do. The only thing I think I know better than most other people is YouTube. I know how to edit, I know how to record, I have a camera, and I've spent a lot of time learning about this thing. So the best way, I think, for me to at least start my journey to becoming a founder is to do YouTube. But what am I actually doing? I've given you a list of reasons, but I haven't given you a title. In short, I'm making an urban wildlife documentary in London. And I'm documenting the process of making that documentary on this YouTube channel. The previous weekly reviews will kind of become this, but they'll be much more niched onto the wildlife documentary which I'll be making. And any previous content which I'll have made about, I guess I'd say, deep, thoughtful topics will return as a newsletter in September, I think. Because I do still want to talk about them, I just never thought that YouTube was the best format for them. Now, all the admin, I would say, is out of the way. And we can start on the segment, which I think people will be coming for the next 10 weeks. This will be the predominant main segment, which I will enjoy making and you will enjoy watching, I think. And that is the actual documenting the documentary. I'm recording myself as I'm making this documentary. It's pretty hard, but I do like it. And every week, what this video essentially will be is going to be a compilation of those clips and me talking about it and the process which I've gone through to make this wildlife documentary. So I guess it's time to just dive in. I started on Monday. I don't have any footage from it, but that Monday was arguably the most important day because that was when I set out the main goals I have for summer. They are to learn German, to make this wildlife documentary, to enjoy the summer, to reach out and learn about other things, and to climb hard. But this is specifically for the wildlife documentary. I really properly started on Tuesday and began to make a plan for this documentary. That is where I'm dropping you right now. So I've just started trying to make the plan for the documentary. But what I've realised is that actually the harder bit is not making the documentary. I think it's going to be making these videos documenting the process. See, for the documentary, I kind of roughly know what I want to do, and I kind of know the steps of doing it. I've got them written down here. So what do I record? How does it fit in the storyline, I guess? And then actually uploading it. It can just be broken down into footage, editing, and upload. For the videos which document it, I don't have such a clear structure, and my perfectionism very often gets the better of me. I'm thinking weekly uploads describing the journey, with a structure for the videos which I can follow every single week. I've never done a video where I document the process of learning something, even though I've thought about it for quite a long time, and it's actually quite intimidating. But look at it from a different angle, and it's freeing. I'll give you a very quick demonstration with this pebble. If you look at this pebble from this angle, it looks intimidating. That's what I'm thinking, but for you it just looks flat, and we can write intimidating on this, and that'll then be intimidating. However, it's not that far away from being reassuring, because all I have to do is flip it like that. Now it's out of focus, but you see it at a completely different angle. You see it as it's thin. This is the infamous, I guess, thing with the blind man and the elephant. So I just have to look at making the videos slightly differently, take it from being intimidating to being reassuring in the fact that I've never done it before. Making these videos seemed quite intimidating to me at the beginning, and to be honest it still is now, but I've learned that actually if I just get started and if I use tools like AI to simplify the process, it is considerably easier than I thought it was going to be. On that Tuesday, I also decided the focus, quite narrow focus for my documentary, because I know I need a focus to make sure it works, but I think I explain it better on the actual day. So here you are. I have done some ideation, as you can see, and I have come up with a goal and a focus for the documentary. This will be very useful to streamline what I record and what you see. The focus of the documentary, in the same way that David Attenborough documentaries are broken up into different continents, is going to be animals in the sky. It's going to be bats and it's going to be birds, because they're really fascinating. There are these bats which sleep for over 18 hours a day. I don't know if they live in London. We're about to find out. And there are so many cool birds. I've even seen woodpeckers literally just outside my house, but I've never really been able to understand and I guess connect with them. I think it'd be really, really interesting for me to learn about them and for the viewer to learn about them. The goal, if it wasn't obvious, is for me to learn about these animals because, as I said, I just find them super fascinating. But there's also a wider, more purpose-based goal, which I would say is to get the viewer and even myself to look up more and to listen a little bit more, to notice small changes in what's going on in the sky and not just on the streets. I'm really looking forward to it, so I'm going to hop in and make a plan for the next 10 weeks as I make this documentary, because I would like to kind of at least know what I'm doing every single week. I am proud of myself because I have finished the timeline. I now know what I'm going to do, hopefully every single week for the next 10 weeks while I make this documentary. Very shortly, week 1 is research. Weeks 2 to 5 are taking the shots and making sure that all of those are nice. Weeks 6 to 10 are editing and compiling those shots. Hopefully this will mean I have clarity every single week, and so it's easy to come back to something and basically focus on a task. I do look at it and it is quite a lot though, so maybe it will overrun, but so long as I try, I'll be happy. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, my computer is completely fried. For some reason it is stuck at 1% and only works when it's on charge, but the battery doesn't go up. So It's going to be a little bit harder to research than I thought it would be, but I am very happy that I have an iPad from like 6 years ago, which I used to use and never used again. So dug that up and I'm using that for research. So fingers crossed, I think everything will work out well. If you want to see the iPad, it is over there, that one. But yeah, all right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. On Thursday, I had a little bit less time because I was doing something with friends afterwards, but I still managed to get a nice little session in, and it was super duper hot, so I had to do it with my shirt off. I apologize. Basically, I researched species which I might want to record for this documentary, and I explain it here. It's Thursday now, and I'm in the process of making a little list of all animals which I want to record. So I've now kind of made my list, but one of the categories is way too big to make a 3-minute segment on. So I need to narrow them down. It's the passerine birds, which are they're the songbirds, but also crows fit into it, and they're characterized by like their feet and the fact that they can sit on branches with their legs because they have like 3 toes and they can kind of clasp it. So I've got out my favorite book in my collection. It is a massive encyclopedia which one of my friends gave me for, I think it was my 8th or 10th birthday, and I'm just going to leaf through and try learn a little bit about these passerine birds. I haven't done that much today because I only had about an hour, maybe less, but I'm quite proud of the work I've done. I'm glad I can keep doing this, and fundamentally I am enjoying it right now, and I'm really happy about that. So yeah, even though I don't have that much time, Wednesday's been a hit and Thursday's been a hit. So yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy this project. I have now realised that I unfortunately can't record the bats because in the UK there's a law which says that you're not allowed to disrupt or disturb bats while they are roosting, and I also don't have an infrared camera, so I can't record them at night. I think it's actually quite good though, because in retrospect, filming 5 different species for a 15-minute long documentary would mean they really don't get enough time viewed as they might deserve to, and especially for something as massive as the passerines which I was documenting, it is going to be incredibly difficult to fit that into a 3-minute little window. So it's quite good that in a way I can't film the bats anymore. Now hopefully the highlight of this video, at least for me, is not just going to be those clips, but this bit, my traffic lights. Evan does this, but very quickly it is a highlight, a learning, and an idea. Stuff which I've learned over the process of making this documentary. So, my highlight is undoubtedly just getting some deep work in, focusing and really nailing that point in your mind where you just enjoy the work is so nice, and I couldn't recommend it anymore. It's definitely something I need over this summer where there's going to be a lot of time to do nothing, and it'll be a very nice time to do something. My learning would definitely be that a routine is needed to do this thing. It's super hard to get into a block of deep work if you don't know that you're going to start one, and the best way to know that you're going to start one is to have a set in stone routine which you follow every single morning. I find mornings very easy because they're basically always the same. The evening can never be the same, but I'm hoping to also develop some form of evening or midday routine to complement the morning routine. Without routine though, I kind of flail and I don't like it. My idea is to get you guys on board with this. All you have to do is leave a comment with one of your goals, and every week I will reply and ask how those goals are going. I'm doing it with my friends on a WhatsApp group chat, but I think it'll be nice to also get some traction on the YouTube. So if you're interested, feel free, just leave a comment with anything and whatever you want to achieve over summer or over weekends, or just something which you want to focus in on for a little bit, and I'll keep you accountable for 10 weeks. Next week, I'm going to have to make a storyboard, which I've already said, but I'm a bit scared about. I'm going to have to research where to take my shots. I'm also a bit scared. This is probably the thing which I've thought of the most. And I'm also going to have to take my first shot if I'm going to align on my timeline. Hopefully that's all going to go down, but you're going to find out next week, aren't you? And to be fair, So will I. I'm personally really looking forward to it, and I hope you guys are too. And just like that, week 1 is done. But don't worry, there's still a long way to go. So join me next week, and the week after that, and the week after that, as I share and document the documentary.